The most unique shiny Mew hunt yet. Yeah, I really should have put some more emphasis on that part of the title, huh? No, to be fair, I really did not expect to get today's shiny as fast as I ended up getting it. But we'll get to that part later. Before getting into the specific shiny, I wanted to talk with you guys a little. This is my 100th 8192 shiny. I don't know about you guys, but that feels like a really important milestone in my shiny hunting journey. You know, as someone who used one or two consoles at most on a majority of my hunts, and went out of my way to go for stupidly hard hunts too a lot of the time, it just feels really important to have gotten that far. The first time I ever shiny hunted in Pokémon was actually all the way back in Generation 4, a little 8 or so years old Inub with Pokémon Diamond, while their older brother had Pokémon Pearl, an older brother that randomly, at some point, found a shiny Cascoon in Eternal Forest. Siblings being siblings, that made me wildly jealous. So stubborn as a mule even as a kid, I decided right there and then that I would start doing encounters until I found my own shiny. No contact with the shiny hunting community, super small and true niche as it was back then, no real idea that shiny hunting was really a thing, nothing else but a profound desire to show my brother up. And another 15 or so years later, here we are. It's only in 2021, in the later parts of the COVID pandemic, that I truly started shiny hunting without restraint, and not just as the occasional way to interact with my games. A fossil hunt in search for Dracozolt, and it all went down from there. At first, I only really shared my fans with a few close friends that weren't even really into Pokémon. Then I discovered this funny little subreddit called r/shiny Pokémon, and eventually that Discord, and from there other shiny hunting Discords, and by mid-2023 I even started posting random shiny clips on YouTube for the fun of it. And you know, I love the shinies themselves, the personal journeys I create around them, the memories I tie to them. But I think the most precious thing I have found in all of this, more than any one shiny, is the community. My friends with who I chat about anything and everything. My amazing girlfriend I somehow found through having shiny pixel autism. The content creators I look up to and the less known but just as amazing shiny hunters I come across every day that persevere through with so many amazing ideas and shinies again and again, constantly inspiring me to have the most fun doing the wildest things imaginable in by far my favorite hobby. So more than anything, even if this is a droplet in the ocean of creative and amazing people that make shiny hunting content, I want to dedicate this video to the community I call home.
Shiny hunting has always been, I think, more about the journey to me. Shiny hunting is kind of like that long drive. The act of doing it, in and of itself, is kind of monotonous, kind of boring, much like driving. But in surrounding yourself with, if you're hunting, say your favorite music, talking with friends, or even shiny hunting with others, you're creating these memories.
I really just see it as like, in a dorky way, kind of one of the best ways to honor some of my favorite Pokemon. So yeah, I just feel like it is a labor of love, and it's really rewarding too. Like when you finally land that shiny that you've been after, it just is the best feeling ever.
My favorite thing about full odds hunting is the friends I've made along the way. However, my favorite shiny has to be my Sinjo Ruins Dialga. When I started shiny hunting a few years ago, that sounded like one of the hardest hunts ever. I raced my good friend Inup here for a shiny in the ruins last year, and I was super lucky to get mine under 2000 resets.
I like full-on shiny hunting because I like big numbers. And I especially like 1 in 8192 hunting because it makes really big numbers.
Every time I find a 1 in 8192 shiny, I just think about whatever I'm doing in that moment, and I'm like, wow, this just became a significant moment in my life. And in the over 10 years I've been doing that, that's never changed.
I like shiny hunting because I really like the sense of achievement I get when I complete a hunt, challenge, or when I make progress towards my living dex. The community means a lot to me too. Getting to share my progress and complain when hunts go over odds with people who get it is just great. I've met some of my closest friends through shiny hunting, and I feel like it's one of the most welcoming communities in gaming in general.
I hope, truly, that I will get to enjoy this community for a really long time. Now though, I think it's a good time to get deeper into the details of the specific hunt I chose to be my 100th Old Full Art Shiny. The selection of species didn't take long for me to figure out at all, as, well, my favorite Pokémon has been rather clear to me for a long time now. The bigger question was, how? After all, it's not gonna be a big secret to most shiny hunters that Mew isn't exactly the most proliferate species in terms of shiny hunting methods. I don't play Go anymore and haven't for a long time, so that was never even in the question. Faraway Island Mew and Emerald is a hunt I love, but I also already did it twice, and I plan to do it so many more times, so it didn't quite set itself apart enough for me to really want it to be the big milestone hunt. A Gen 1 glitch hunt seemed like a more appealing option for a while, until I remembered an acquaintance of mine, Notum, big Generation 1 and 2 hunter, and very notably, an absolute Gen 2 arbitrary code execution wizard. A while ago, he'd briefly mentioned in another server a very unique piece of code he made, one that could replace the species of the gold and silver roamers with any other species in the game. I think you can see where I'm going with this now. Combining the pieces together led to the hunt that inspired the entire concept of making a Mew generation quest to me, and also a first ever hunt in the world as far as I'm aware, shiny roamer Mew. My second ever Gen 2 hunt, my first ever roamer hunt, and my absolute white whale. With a lot of help from Notum, setting up the ace wasn't too complicated at all. I'm not super privy to the inner workings, so if you're interested in it, he has let me know he is planning to release his own tutorial on the setup on YouTube, and in the meantime is open to people reaching out to him on his socials to get help on how to set it up. Now, of course, was the question of, well, how do you hunt a roamer in Generation 2? If you're best familiar with Gen 4 roamers, you might be surprised to learn that in Gen 2, the roamers are not actually generated when you release them. Instead, they get generated when you first encounter them. Sounds like it would make it a lot easier if the way they move through routes wasn't so frustrating. Anytime you move to a new map, they move to another route neighboring one of the ones they're on. Mostly at random, but I'm pretty sure constantly avoiding the player. For a shiny hunt, where you need to check them a lot, that quickly gets very tough. That's why I ended up using a Gen 2 roamer hunting method by the Hangar of Roam on YouTube, that they dubbed the Route 38 and 32 poison method. Pretty self-explanatory, but let me get deeper. Also, I highly recommend just watching their video I linked in the description if you're interested in using it yourself. The basic rundown though is, you need to have the last Pokémon Center you went to being the one on Route 32. Then, you want to have only one Pokémon in your party, ideally with Fly, with an odd amount of HP, and then have it poisoned somehow. Without letting it die, you want to get to the gate on the very right border of Route 38. You want to make sure your Pokémon gets to its last very HP, while also still being on the tile right next to the gate. From there you save, and the basic setup is done. In your Pokédex, a roamer's page will have their location flagged anytime you check it. This applies even to species you forced to be roamers with the ace. At the start of every reset, you check the Pokédex page of the species you have roaming. If they're on Route 32, very simple, you walk forward into Route 38 and feint. Feinting does not move the roamers from their current location. Since you just got teleported back to Route 32's Pokémon Center, the last one you visited, you are now on the same route as your roamer. You can go and encounter it in the grass. If they are not on Route 32 at the start of the reset, that's where this handy little map I made based on the Hangar of Roam's video comes in handy. In this context, a shuffle is simply the act of going into the gate or outside back on the route. As long as you don't take a step in either of the zones, switching between the two is not considered something that affects the poison step count, and as previously established, anytime you change from one zone to another, it will cause the roamers to randomly decide to go on a new route neighboring the one they were just on. Simply enough, you do the shuffles indicated by the position on the map, and then check again. If they're still not on road 32, you repeat the process until they are. The Hangar of Roam video recommends you simply soft reset your game if all of them are too far away from road 32. But when you have 3 roamers of the same species, I have personally found that you can often just as easily brute force it by doing a dozen or even 20 shuffles in a row without checking, and then checking your decks again to see if one of them is now on one of the possible routes. Their video also says this method should bring about 50 checks per hour if you're doing all 3 roamers. Truthfully, I think I was much closer to 20 to 30 per hour, but I'm also not the most focused person when hunting, so that definitely plays into it. Now, the hunt has a setup, but it's still far from easy. The way the shuffling works means you pretty much cannot ever just mindlessly spam through until an encounter. You have to pay attention to what you're doing, and you're very reliant on RNG to get it to the route you want it to be. Sometimes that can happen right away, sometimes that can take like 10-15 minutes. But that's what makes it such a hard, unique and cool shiny. I truly expected it would just eat up the majority of my early 2026, especially on one console. But RNG does as RNG wants, and sometimes it works out for me, so I'm not going to complain. Oh, 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 that's a shiny Mew! That's a shiny Mew! That's a shiny Mew! Holy fuck! Holy fuck, that's a shiny Mew! 1,005 encounters, that's a shiny Mew! Holy shit! Holy fucking shit! Oh my god, that's a Roamer shiny Mew in silver. Oh, I thought it would take so much longer than it did. Oh, I'm going insane. Oh my god, that's a shiny Mew. I was barely looking. That is insane. That's a shiny Mew. I don't know what else to say. Holy shit. It's still January. Holy fuck, it's been like a week since I got my shiny Mew in Gen 1. This is my second shiny Mew for the Generation Quest. Holy fucking shit. Holy shit. Holy fuck. Wow. I have not slept a lot. I'm a bit loopy. Maybe that's a shiny Mew. That's a shiny Mew. You guys might have noticed. It's a Mew that's shiny. That's insane. Absolutely fucking insane. That's crazy. That might be the craziest thing ever. In barely 1,005 encounters. I mean, come on. It was meant to be, right? Like it had to be meant to be. Oh my fucking god! Woo! Well, this feels really good. This is my 100th 8,192 shiny. I wanted to specifically keep this hunt for my 100th shiny at old full odds. Well, because obviously Mew means a lot to me, and this particular hunt is so very cool. Shout out to Notum, which is another shiny hunting YouTuber and someone I met on the Face Discord that actually wrote the code to replace the roamers with whatever species you want, and helped me specifically make it Mew. I'm so amazing, dude. Thank you so much. And holy shit, that's a shiny Mew. Well, I suppose I should get to catching now, shouldn't I? Like, I've considered, once I found it, letting it roam for a while and like trying to get some more encounters with it. I can't lie, actually finding a roamer in Gen 2, like stumbling into the same route as a roamer, is really annoying. So I'm not sure I actually feel like doing that at all. And I do have a Master Ball for this very occasion. So I think, you know, I'm just going to get to the chase. If that's alright with you all. Because that's a fucking shiny Mew! Yes, I'm going to give it a nickname. Can I not do... Oh no, I can't do numbers. I was going to like name it 100, like 100. But I guess you can't do numbers in Generation 2. Do I just go for 100 spelled out? Holy shit, that's so shiny! It's looking like a fucking Mr. Mime on the screen. Oh, really quite bummed out. It's, I can't do numbers. Yeah, I really can't. Oh well, yeah, whatever, 100 is still a good name. Well, first of all, let me save, obviously. Obviously. Let me look at this right now. It's a shiny Roamer Mew. I mean, what more can you want in life, right? Like, this is peak. This is the peak of everything, ever. Yeah, you can see the stats, since that's still a thing in Gen 2. For level 40. That makes sense. That's really cool to see the same stats in all stats except attack. And well, technically HP too. Let me just throw it out in battle so we can get a good view of it from the back too. Oh, hold on, I need to get rid of the Reaper. Yeah, Purple is gone. Encounter going on. That's a normal Wooper, which is looking very cute, by the way. And hundreds of shiny Mew is... yeah! Hundreds of shiny Mew! And we can do more things, just become a blue Wooper, but a slightly different blue, which is very important. Sorry, I'm just so excited about this. This is legitimately like a dream shiny for me. Roamer Mew. Like, this is actually, I think, my first successful Roamer hunt. Because I have a few more I've started and I want to finish. But I think this is the first Roamer hunt that I finished. It's done, the shiny is found. It's a shiny Roamer Mew. Hold on. Let's see it in battle. Okay, let's look at what we have here. Normal Hypno. Shiny Mew! Shiny Roamer Mew! This isn't just any Mew, that's a shiny Roamer! Thank you very much! And now we can do a blue Hypno. What is it? No, this one or the evolution? I don't remember at all. Not my favorite Pokemon per se. Okay, the back sprite is very funny. But it's blue! I love this so much. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this. Thank you for sticking through, for all the ones that, have watched multiple of my videos. Thank you so much for sticking through it. Until I got my hundreds, 8,192 shiny. Obviously, I'm not planning to stop hunting anytime soon, so hopefully there's many more shinies for me to share with you guys. Many more stories to tell. I really want in 2026 to go deeper on editing and trying to tell little stories with shinies I find. I'm still finding my footing in a lot of things, especially on content creation, because I genuinely just wanted to document my shinies and have fun when I started all this. So it means a lot to me, to everyone that watches, subscribes, whatever. The entire YouTube spiel, you probably heard it 1,000 times. But yeah, well, I think that's going to be it for this video for me, because I got a beautiful shiny Mew now, and I'm just going to spend some more time enjoying looking at it and messing around with it. I'll see you guys with hopefully plenty more shinies in 2026, and I hope you have an amazing day or evening, depending on what time it is for you, and plenty of good things. Bye bye!